Is the arch of your foot weak? I'm Dr. Chantelle with MyLab. Let's go through a couple exercises to mobilize and strengthen posterior tibialis. Posterior tibialis is a muscle that starts in the shin and it runs down behind the back of the ankle into the foot. The tendon splays out into the foot and it attaches to up to 9 different spots in the foot, which makes it really important for stabilizing and strengthening the arch. Now, it's also a muscle that tends to get overworked, which means it's a muscle that we need to release as well. So you can do this with a golf ball or with your fingers. My preference is to use the golf ball so that you're not just mashing your hand into your shin. What you're going to do for this is cross your ankle over your knee. That's going to allow the gastrocs to fall out of the way so that you can really focus on posterior tibialis. You're going to feel for the edge of your shin bone or your tibia. You want to be right behind that spot. When you find that area, you're going to take the golf ball, push it into there, and then use your hand to apply pressure and roll into this. Now, research says it can take 3 to 5 minutes to actually release a muscle when you're rolling it. So you want to make sure that you've got at least that amount of time to do this exercise. When you find a spot that's pretty uncomfortable, you're going to hold pressure there. That's where you want to direct this force. So find that spot, hold it for that 3 to 5 minutes, let it release. If you're finding that you'd like to add a little bit more of a stretch, you can also start moving the foot around really gently while you hold that pressure. It'll start to mobilize the tissue underneath that golf ball. Now, to strengthen posterior tibialis, you're going to want to grab a band and put it in a figure 8 loop around both ankles. You want this band as low as you can possibly get it around the talus or the base of the ankle here. That's going to make sure that it's pulling right at the space we want it to. You're going to take your feet a little bit wide because you want some tension on the band, but not so wide that it's actually hurting or that you're unable to do this exercise. Posterior tibialis controls the sort of rolling motion at the foot and that pronation of the arch. So what you're going to do is let that band pull your foot flat, and then keeping the ball of the big toe on the ground, you're going to supinate out against that band, pushing this part of your ankle out. That's going to lift this arch, and you should start to actually feel posterior tibialis working right in here. Then from this position, you're going to let it nice and slowly, eccentrically pull you back into that flat foot. Back and forth, and you're going to do this until you start to create muscular fatigue in this muscle here, or you actually start to feel your shins move. One of the most common errors we actually see with this is that people are driving their knees in and out, that motion is all coming from just their knees moving. So you really want to make sure the knees are steady and all of the motion is coming from the ankle. Thanks for watching.